Alex Anzalone he has an outside shot at coming back this week. So, Doc, all of this, to me, boils down to one thing, because just judging how the Lions fans have been this year, if Anzalone steps on the field, the expectations instantly are going to be that he's at 100% and let's rock. And there's going to be a lot of guys that kind of make their way back. I guess my question to you, Doc, is what's realistic for us to expect? And I know that's a different answer to a different question with a different injury with a different guy. I know that. But can you sum it up for me as best you can? What's a realistic expectation?
You got to understand the mentality of these guys and what they've gone through since Pee Wee football, right? They got a mentality to play. I want to play. I don't want to sit on the sideline. Every week I miss a game, it hurts inside. So there's a lot of that built up. So, one, you have to make sure they are completely ready to come back and play, right? Anzalone is a classic example of that. He's got a broken arm. How is he going to really gain strength and do all that? And be competitive at this level, especially going against Minnesota with a lot on the line. There's the mental component that gets you through. There's that physicality that we've talked about a lot. It's like when these players get back on the field, they're going through the steps, the trainers, the practice, the pregame, all that stuff. They're trying to prep them, and Darren can talk about this even more. It's like it's still not like game ready, right? Our rules are 0 paying 90% better, you get to play. Are they 100%? No. Nobody's 100% on that team right now as it is. I mean, it's what's going to take place in their head. And they've gotten to an NFL professional level. So this isn't their first roadblock in their career. This may be one of their biggest ones, but they got prep, they got mental prep. I'm there. It takes that first hit. Like I mentioned off air about J-Mo. J-Mo didn't look last year after his ACL. You can watch his progression. You can watch his confidence. That guy moves like he never had any injury at all. He's faster than ever. He moves. He cuts. There's no hesitation. That didn't happen right away. Like, you could take film of him watching him progress. Same thing with these guys. Was he still powerful on the field early on? Yeah, he was a factor. Or like Laporta. Look at Laporta just this year. He's dealing with multiple injuries. That guy's playing at a whole different level because he's at that 90 to 100%. You watch him cut. You watch how he's in plays. Before, he was like background noise. Now he's in the forefront. That's what you're going to kind of see is that moving to the forefront, building the confidence, getting that injury ready, getting game shape. We can be in shape, but what about game shape?
A lot of in the chat, right? Secret sauce. Doc's usually talk about
the chat loves the secret sauce.
But I wanted to go at it from this aspect, and this is like a unique situation, right? Where you have this one game where both teams, for lack of a better term, have to put everything out on the line because of what they're playing for, not only the division, but that number one seed, home field, and that week off.
Oh, yeah.
In the right. So, So take us into the doctor's office or in the medical office because even the Vikings are going to be doing the same sort of thing. You're putting everybody to every concoction to everything else. This is the most important game to whatever, but you also I want to explain how you would say, hey guys, because if we do this and we get this time off, we'll be able to do that. A lot of it is the game plan, how we communicate about what we're gonna do, the process, right?
It is a weird step. I always say, we balance the scales, right? Well, the scales are almost even for both, all right? So we're in the playoffs. It's not like we're not going to make the playoffs, but you're absolutely right. That week off is going to be huge for a team like the Lions to get that extra rest. That preparation, that home field advantage, all that. So are we playing this like it is the Super Bowl? I think Dan Campbell's mentality is yes. So he's talking to the medical team. Nobody's sitting. I want every available team, top player on that field for Minnesota like we're playing for the Super Bowl. I think that's the message to the training staff. So you're right. We are going to secret sauce them up. We are going to get them ready. And we're going to roll the dice like he does every game. I think everybody, hands on deck. If you're available to play, like I saw an interview with Campbell, if they're ready and they're on the field and they say yes, I don't hesitate to think anything else that they're 100% ready to play the game I want them to play. Like I made the comment about Gibbs. Let's save him a little bit. Why did he run so much in the Bears game? That's his mentality. I have every player on that field, everybody on the field, they're 100%. I don't have any hesitation for anybody. I'm not babying, I'm not sitting. That's Campbell's, situation. I think that's what he's going to take. And whoever's on that field, if it's Alex, if it's, any of the other guys coming back that are injured, he expects him to play at 100%.
Doc, you brought up a great thing. Talk about playing 100% and full out compared to not trying to get hurt, and guys usually get hurt. We're going with the mentality is you're out there, you give it everything you got, and we'll get through it, right? There's that different mentality too, because a lot of times when you're trying not to get hurt and you don't put everything into the play, that's when you do get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that cautious, that ginger, that going in at that 70%, you're looking too much. You play with your instinct. There's a lot of instinct play. And a lot of these guys have that adrenaline run where they're just playing by instinct at this point. At this game, I think, like the game, you see them slowly get a rhythm. And then it may take a round or two, a set of downs or two to get into that rhythm. But I think everybody's mental. There's such a hype on the sidelines with the coaching staff. Everybody's just in the same boat. I think, Minnesota's the same thing. They're going to be hyped up for this game. I think we got to just put everybody out there and keep our fingers crossed. And the medical team watching every play.
Dr. Pierce joining us as he does every Tuesday here on Big D Energy, even on New Year's Eve. The doc still showing up.
That's right.
And doing the thing. Doc, since we're talking about Alex Anzalone, broken arm, coming back from it so long off, arm tends to be a pretty important thing if you're a linebacker. Because you talked about it, like the healing process of it. How do you get strength back in the bone? Like, what is he up against here?
He's up against, week 7 right now? Or is it, we're falling into week 8?
Correct.
For it. Bone strength is really 6 months from a physiological standpoint.
But we don't have 6 months.
It's healed at 6 weeks to 8 weeks. That's why we kind of put that 6 to 8 week out there. Is it as strong as it can be? No, our bones are. We got to understand our bones just aren't our bones. Our bones are very dynamic. They're evolving right now. As you and I are sitting on our asses on our butts right now, they're evolving. There's things happening. There's an aging process. So every day there is. But to get him ready to play and cast it up and everything, it's all about that strength in the grip strength. I think it really comes down to his grip strength. It's his left arm. Can he do some compensation? Yeah, but to still wrap up these players, you need 2 arms in your full body to do it. I think he's game time. I think, I think for sure we win the game, we get the bye, he's playing that first playoff game. For this, I think it's going to be how he feels confident, and he's got to tell us. The doc's not going to tell him. How do you feel? Can you do it? Are you going to be able to do it? Is that guy going to get away from you? Is the guy going to break a tackle? Are you going to be able, that's where he needs to be real with himself and not cheat the team. So,
Doc, let me behind the curtain.
The other thing I want to bring up,
yeah.
Can we pull up, while we're doing this, Hutchinson's water running? We showed that on a video from Woodward Sports. We can bring that up. We can go over that for a second.
Yeah. Justin will pull that up. But in the meantime, Doc, as he's pulling that up, as much as you can, to open, to pull the curtain back, let us see behind the curtain. If you had to assign a percentage value of this, just the Anzalone situation, just as a hypothetical, how much of this is Doc's opinion and how much of this is the player saying, no, I'm playing? No, I'm playing. Doc, I'm playing. How much is how much?
It really gets down to the docs, unless it was concussion. This is a physical. So we can do measurements, right? Like I said before, we can measure his grip strength. We can measure his reaction time, his right versus left. And if it's a greatly off or not, he doesn't even get the choice. He's got to be in that 10 to 20% difference from side to side, okay? Because that's balance. That just tells us where he should be because he's got a good side to it. If he falls in that 10 to 20% discrepancy of being weaker on the left and the right, now we get down to him. Can you do it? And even though we put him out there, we're watching him. When we have injured players, our responsibility as a medical team, is we're watching his movement. We're watching if he's hesitating. We're watching if he's laying that arm a little different than he's laying his right. There's body mechanics that he subconsciously will be doing that are red flags to us to pull him off the field. We talk to the coaching, and we've done it. I've done it multiple times with, younger kids are more important. To me, professionals are adults, but the younger kids, we watch. I'm like, no, he's not doing it. We got to get him off the field. He's going to be a detriment. And that's the other thing is that's the medical staff. We don't want a weak link on that field because he's got an ego, right? We got to call it there. But to get him on the field and ready, one, he's got to pass all the tests. Two, he's got to feel like he can grapple and get into it. And three, we're going to watch him.
All right.
Does that answer the question?
No, it does exactly. And to be fair, like I thought it was more on the player. You explained it to me as long as it's concussion, like serious-ish. I guess we could say it like that.
We can see visually what's going on.
Correct.
Concussion, we can't see what he's thinking, or if he passes out, that's an obvious one.
That's an obvious one.
But some of that other stuff, we can watch his movements and stuff. But concussion's harder. Like, are you feeling dizzy, or are you just being a little aloof? Which is it? He's got to be true to us. But with physical, with hamstrings, with knees, we can watch their body mechanics and what they're doing, and we can do measurements in the training room to see where they are side to side.
Yeah, when it comes down to pain tolerance, it's pretty much all the players control, more or less, right? You got to go by what they say until you have visual evidence.
Right.
Otherwise,
is he hesitating? Is he pulling up? Is he not entering the tackling like he should be? All those kind of things.
Dr. Pierce joining us here as he does every Tuesday, Big D Energy, every Thursday with Ermanni and Edwards as well. Just, we get the Hutch video pulled up? Oh, you have it? All right, yeah, let's run this for the doc, because, Doc, I know you want to give us...
We always want a Hutch update.
Yeah, not necessarily a Hutch update per se, but kind of an update, right, Doc? What are we seeing here?
Well, this is kind of what we predicted to begin with. This is a very advanced, he's doing underwater running at a lower level of running. You can see his legs. One looks obviously a lot more muscular than the other. But the thing is, we're looking at his mechanics, how he's doing it. Can we play it one more time?
Yes.
You're looking at the mechanics of how he's hitting the ground. Again, the reason he's in the water is because of the buoyancy. It's a weight bearing. It's not full weight bearing. But this is what he's actively doing now. It's definitely a positive for his recovery. But again, he's going to beat that 6 months. But he's still water running at a high level. But he's working at his mechanics. I'm happy for him. As you can see his foot hitting the ground, how he touches the ground, how he's coming off of it, how he's proceeding to move forward. And that's very important. It's also a pretty deep water, which is positive.
Doc, that is the muscular tone difference in the legs is wild. That is wild, man. And it goes to show
cool, the 20-some-year-old, that stuff comes back so amazingly. Hopefully they're doing measurements on them to show the measurements once the muscle memory starts taking back. The thigh is from the knee down. Like my skaters, hockey, we had a lot more of that. Just the power that they put in, it comes back. Like, it's scary now.
The upper left camera view is insane.
Yeah, but you're going to see in 2 weeks if we can film again. It's going to be amazing. You're going to see the growth.
Yeah, that is wild, man. That is absolutely wild.
It's good news. Is it good news that he's playing next week? No. Is it good news for Super Bowl? What's Super Bowl? January 9th?
February. Right?
February 9th? Yeah. It's a hopeful.
No, absolutely. Well, Doc, as always, we appreciate the time, especially on New Year's Eve, coming into the studio for us like this. We certainly do appreciate it.
Happy New Year, Doc.
Happy New Year to you, Doc.
Happy New Year to you guys. I'll be at the Red Wing game tonight. You going to be there?
I'll be there.
All right.
The Doc and DMAC, a rendezvous.
Yeah. And then I'm doing like a Detroit thing. I got I'll be at the
Attention
Minnesota
sports
game,
fans,
too.
don't miss out on Expert Sports Injury Insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.